What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. As you can see, I am joined by Mr. Paddy Murphy and Mr. Chris
Hello.
Stonage. Paddy, I've spoken to you since the West Ham game, but I haven't had a chance to come over to Chris there and, let you vent, mate. How are you feeling after that game?
Look, if you were speaking to me on yesterday morning, I was still a little bit angry, but now it's good vibes only. We're on the train. It's fine. It's done. Jarrod Bowen got 2 assists, so he's impressing his new manager for January. It's all good vibes. We're all having a good time. Hope everyone in the comments is good.
I do like that, mate. Straight in with the shithousery. No fannying about. No sitting on the fence. Just straight in. 1 minute into the stream. Bang. We've angered the entire West Ham fan base. Are you loving this, Paddy?
Listen, I wish I was a bigger man. Well, it's hard to get much bigger than me, but I'm still not over. I'm still very much pissed off about it. But listen, yeah, whatever. Jarrod Bowen's decent. He very much impressed me, but I'm hoping we can look a bit higher than Jarrod Bowen. But listen, after what he did, maybe he's high enough.
Look, yeah, there's a load to go through. There's been no shortage of links over the past few days as well. We'll talk transfers. We'll talk about the managerial situation. But first, I want to talk about male grooming, gents. That might be a surprise to many of you out there. Didn't expect this to come from me. But Christmas is fast approaching. And you're looking around, you're wondering what stocking figures are you going to get for your mates? What am I going to get my dad? What am I going to get my brother, my uncle? What are you going to get your lady friend? Look no more. Manscaped have got you covered. The reason I threw in lady friend is because I keep telling you, my wife nicked my Manscaped set. I'm not joking. She nicked it. She uses it. She loves it. So, ladies and gentlemen, with Christmas just around the corner, with the launch of new products like the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, like the body wash infused with aloe vera and sea salt, you can get all of them, anything you want, from manscaped.com with 20% off and free shipping using our discount code. Now, don't be going out and using Ben Foster's discount code, because Ben Foster's flogging it as well. Get yourself over and use Anfield Agendas. Ben Foster has enough goddamn money and enough support going through. We need support. Show Anfield Agenda the love. WFM, 20% off and free shipping, or we don't let Chris out of his bedroom.
To be fair, I don't usually go out of it, so I wouldn't be much of a thing.
Paddy,
you
vouch for it. You've got your Manscaped set.
Yeah, they sent me. I got a set, and honestly, like, you know the way you do brand. You do brand deals, but honestly, it's the first time in a long time you got a product that actually impresses you even more than what you thought. It's great. Listen, not that there's any activity lately, but if there ever is, I'm ready to go. And that ball toner,
you're lying, Paddy. We all know there's plenty going on.
But listen, when I'm arsed, but it depends on the caliber you're looking for. But that ball toner is a different gravy. Oh, every time before bed, little spritzer, you go to bed a happy man.
And if you can't trust Paddy Murphy, who can you trust, ladies and gentlemen? Who can you trust?
That's very true. If you want your balls in good shape, give me a call.
Look, lads, I thought we'd a bit of a leap here to go from that to Steven Gerrard, but let's have a go with it. Let's go from that to Steven Gerrard. And
listen, if Steven Gerrard wants to pay me to personally groom his balls after what he's done for Liverpool over the years, I do it for free.
I was just going to say, I'm disappointed you wanted paying me. I'm very disappointed in that.
Maybe an Instagram story shout out. You never know, just for the sake of the clout.
Exposure in it.
Yeah.
Lots of movement, Chris, in the managerial merry-go-round over the past few days. I mean, the Daniel Farke one had to make you laugh a little bit. You know, he wins his first game of the season with Norwich in the league. That was, as Rio Ferdinand said, Chris, that was clearly pre-planned, because you don't win a game and then get sacked.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, I think it's quite clear and obvious that both Daniel Farke and Norwich are not cut out for the Premier League, especially not the two combined. Norwich, West Brom, and Watford can have their own league, and Fulham as well. I'll add them into it because they're just boring. They're annoying because they just come up and come down. I've had enough of them. But yeah, Daniel Farke doesn't surprise me. It's a bit weird. But it's pretty obvious that they did just before the international break, just so they had an excuse. And I think it probably came as much a surprise to Daniel Farke as it did to the Norwich board that they actually won a football match. So I don't think they would have been asked.
But then they wake up, Paddy, and they hear the news that Frank Lampard could be the saviour of Norwich.
Yeah, do you know what's mad? Like, on that, I seen this stat today. If Lampard is appointed, he will be the first manager in history to be worth more than the owner of the club. He's worth £44 million more than Delia Smith. Isn't that
I
mental?
know which one I'd want me cooking dinner though. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be Frankie Lampard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Frank's got something in his locker.
Nah, I don't know.
Oh, he's definitely got a go-to pasta dish that he impresses the ladies
I
with.
don't like if you're sacking Daniel Farke. Listen, I thought Norwich would just stick out.
You're a brave man, by the way, to sack him. I wouldn't go up to him and sack him. See that man when he's angry?
Yeah, but then if you hear him, like
then you hear him, then you look at Darren Farley's impressions. You're like, yeah, of course, he loves the bits of jam and sausage. So of course, it's okay.
Yours is very good.
Yeah,
yes, Paddy, we're giving you a pass on that one, mate. Well played.
The Canaries. I talked to Delia. She said, of course, don't sack me. But then I get to fucking win. They sack me, so I don't know what to do.
Look at this. Darren Farley, yeah? P45 time. Paddy Murphy's in the house.
No, but on that though, it like listen, they must have had him ready to be sacked. The win probably made nothing. But if you're sacking him for Frank Lampard, it's dangerous. There's only so much a man can do with that squad. I don't know. Maybe it's because they think he can make Billy Gilmore into prime Iniesta. That's probably their only hope in staying up. So we'll see what happens. I kind of hope Lampard gets it and then gets them relegated because then he'll be finished.
Oh, they're getting relegated. It doesn't matter.
There's no way to do like that's why it's a brave man to take that job on. Like they will be getting relegated, so that will ruin Frank Lampard's managerial reputation. So it's dangerous if he goes there.
I have to say, as a person, I don't know Frank Lampard, but I do have a respect for him. He does seem like a nice lad. He does. He seems like a good, decent fella. And I was a little bit shocked to see Daniel Farke get the boot, but another managerial change, and Chris Wilder got the boot at Aston Villa, and that kind of brings us along to the Gerrard debate. But
did Chris Wilder get the boot at Villa?
Oh, sorry, Chris Wilder got the boot. Sorry, he's taken over at Middlesbrough. Sorry, Dean Smith got the boot at Aston Villa. My apologies. I've too many managers in my head at the minute, and none of them are Sam Allardyce, so it doesn't make sense. You know, so how could we talking about managerial changes? We haven't mentioned Sam once, but yes, excuse me. Dean Smith got the boot by Aston Villa. Chris Wilder was, of course, taken over at Middlesbrough after Mr. I've got the most managerial games in the history of football. Very next game, bye Middlesbrough. Neil Warnock, the man with no eyebrows, is also gone. Now, Dean Smith has gotten the bullet from Aston Villa, and it looks like their search is going to be down to possibly Roberto Martinez and Steven Gerrard. Now, there's a comment here from an Aston Villa fan in the chat that I want to pull up. Oliver said, I'm a Villa fan and I'm unsure on Gerrard. It'll be lose-lose because if he's crap, we'll go down. And if he does, well, he'll be off to Liverpool the moment Klopp leaves. And that's kind of where I wanted to go with this. I think, gents, that from a purely selfish Liverpool fan point of view, this is a lovely stepping stone towards a potential Liverpool job in the future. But I do understand, Paddy, where people like Oliver there are coming from. It does seem like Villa fans are only, if he does well, they know he's probably going to move on.
Yes, that's very true. And I suppose, as you said, from a biased Liverpool point of view, I think for the dream of Gerrard to ever take the Anfield job, he'll need a Premier League stepping stone. I think it's a big decision to give him the job straight from Rangers. Listen, no disrespect to the Scottish League, but winning the Scottish League is probably akin to getting 10th place in the Premier League, maybe even less. It's nothing too special. It's good that he broke up. It's not good, but for his sake, the fact that he broke up the Celtic monopoly is a big achievement. But as you said, from an Aston Villa fan point of view, I'd imagine that it is a lose-lose. But then again, saying that though, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 years maybe before Klopp leaves, or is it maybe 2 more full seasons? So that's time enough to get them in a good position. And I really am excited. I hope it happens. I really want to see Gerrard in the Premier League, even if it means playing against Liverpool. It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal, because I think he needs that to prove his worth as a manager. Because I think the jury's still out on him and his ability as a manager. I think people think I have faith in him being good because we know his mentality, like to a degree. But if he can come to Aston Villa and stabilize them, keep them up, maybe even push for a top 10, that's going to be probably the game. That then his stock will rise. I think it's a no-brainer for him and Villa. Listen, yes, he's going to go to the end game for him is Liverpool. But to get 2 seasons of Villa, stabilize them, and then get someone else to come in, I don't think it's a bad idea for Villa either.
Chris, I don't think it's the worst. I mean, I understand where Oliver's coming from, and I would understand, obviously, the hesitancy from any Aston Villa fans. But as Paddy said, let's say he comes in, stabilises them this year, gets them up top half finish, and pushes them next season into a Europa League place, as an example. Surely, whatever happens then, the club will be in a better position. Like when Klopp leaves Liverpool, Klopp's where swore when he came in day one, I'll leave the club in a better position than when I left. And no matter what happens now, he certainly will have done that. I would say the same argument could be made for Gerrard. Doesn't mean he will try any less hard for Aston Villa.
Yeah, I mean, Brendan Rodgers at Celtic, for example, I'll say this. He went and built his career back up in Scotland. Steven Gerrard started his career there, went invincible with a Rangers squad, which is unbelievable. And then I just think he's so refreshing in press conferences and stuff like that. He's quite open at being critical. Look, if he does do well at Aston Villa, there's no reason why Liverpool wouldn't just wait a little bit longer. As someone's just said, Pep Linders could be an option for like a stopgap in between the two if Gerrard needs a few more years. I don't know whether it's a guarantee that he replaces Jurgen Klopp. And that maybe will give him a few more years to develop at a club like Villa. It's perfect. They're a massive club, bit like Rangers, both absolutely huge clubs like Liverpool. Yes, it's his end game, but there's no reason why Steven Gerrard couldn't get Aston Villa to where West Ham are, for instance, in my opinion. Like, I think he could get them to a fifth or sixth place finish. And why not? They've got a big budget as well. That changes them in the use of finances. It just ticks every box for me.
Yeah, look, I can understand it as well from Villa's perspective, because what you'd want from a manager or whoever the next appointment would be, clearly great coaching skills, great communication skills, but you would also want somebody who will help push the club to the next level in its current guise. I mean, obviously Villa, very historic club. Like, we don't need to talk about Aston Villa's history. It's there. It's well known. So, Paddy, I think maybe one of the strengths that Stevie G would have coming in to Aston Villa would be they'd be able to attract a player that maybe would have some reticence, some hesitation about where Villa currently are. I think he could sell them his project quite well.
100%. And that's it. Like, Steven Gerrard, the manager, is obviously a different level to Steven Gerrard, the player, but let's not forget it's Steven Gerrard. And if you're a young player and an up-and-coming talent, you will have grown up watching Steven Gerrard in his prime, and the fact that he'd be in for it, that would convince a lot of them. Like, who Aston Villa, Dean Smith, Steven Gerrard. If you're a young player, who impresses you more, regardless of their managerial capabilities? I think it makes perfect sense for Steven Gerrard. And touching on what Chris was saying about maybe we don't go directly from Klopp to Gerrard. There's no guarantees Gerrard accepts the Liverpool job if he gets offered it after Klopp, because he might think in his head, I'm not ready. And he knows, look what happened with Lampard and Chelsea. There is a very real possibility he comes to Liverpool whenever he does and he flops. And unfortunately, inherently, his reputation or his stock will slightly decrease. That's just the way it is.
How could he possibly flop in a team with Mbappe, Haaland and Jude Bellingham, though? I mean, if you can't succeed then, Paddy, when can you succeed?
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those as well. When you're going from Klopp, you can look at it two ways. It's a big act to follow, or you can look at it where Liverpool fans will have had the highs of the Klopp era and are ready to build again. And so maybe Gerrard's the perfect man to alleviate that pressure. Because if you bring a random manager in, for example, let's just say Ten Hag comes in or someone random, like the pressure on him, he has no respect or anything build up. But if Gerrard comes in, we'll have time for Gerrard. We're willing to give Gerrard that time. And unlike Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's actually a good manager, unlike the PE teacher. So.
And he's actually a legend. Can we get that out there as well? To even try to compare Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, their impact on Chelsea and Liverpool to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's impact on United. He wasn't a proper club legend. He's a Divock Origi.
He's scored a few more goals than Divock Origi.
He's a Divock Origi.
Divock, Champions League final goal. Divock, semi-final Champions League. The moment against Everton. Divock has probably had just as many big moments for Liverpool as Ole Gunnar Santos helper Solskjaer had.
Connor's...
I'm not taking the piss. I'm deadly serious.
Connor's clipping this right now for TikTok, and he's going to include this bit.
I think it's a fair comparison. I really do.
No, I'm sorry, Craig. I love you, bro.
Did you even live through that time, though? I was there when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was playing for United.
90 Premier League goals for Man United.
If he was any good, he would have started.
Exactly. I'm with Paddy. Come on, Paddy. Yeah, Irish bias all the way.
Absolutely.
If he's any good, he would have started, Chris. If he's any good, he would have started.
But then again,
look, whatever we say about that, can we agree that he's not at the legend of Lampard
not.
and Gerrard
No.
at their clubs.
Oh no, of course.
So
And
I
if you
don't
look at
see
it
it
like-
as a comparable thing when people
If you
say.
look at it like, look at when before Ollie went to United, he had a relegation at Cardiff and a Norwegian Premier League or whatever, or a cup. Gerrard, he's won the Scottish League, and listen, it's not as prestigious as some of the others. It's bigger than the Norwegian League, and he broke the Celtic monopoly. And now it will.
And he hasn't relegated anybody either, Paddy.
Exactly. And I know, listen, I'm not a Rangers fan. Obviously, I'm not a Celtic fan, but. Celtic were shit that season, but still, still had to get the job done, and he went invincible. And Rangers have been pretty decent in Europe in his time there. I think Gerrard's just a proven winner. And you know what? I said it on the show before. The day, if it happens, please God, he lifts the Premier League, whatever capacity. If he can come back and lift it, can you imagine? I'll die a happy man if Steven Gerrard ever came back to Liverpool and won the Premier League. I will die. You could kill me stone dead there, and I'd take it.
I just want to talk about this for 1 sec. So Curtis said nobody said he's the same legend as Lampard and Gerrard. I didn't mean it that way, mate. What I meant was when we talk about how emotionally hurt we'd be if we didn't succeed, I don't think, my own opinion, that it would hurt as much for Ollie to fail as it would have for maybe Lampard to have not done as well at Chelsea. Certainly for Gerrard to come into a Liverpool team that has previously just won a European Cup and a champion or a Premier League and trophies and had our most successful period in a very long time. If he came in and didn't do well, I just think it would hurt deeper for us. That's basically what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to underplay the bull hurt that Manchester United fans are currently going through. I sympathise with you. No, I don't. Not even a little bit. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. And on that, look, is it a given, Chris, that one Klopp will leave in 2024? I mean, we're all just taking it as fact that 100% Jurgen Norbert Klopp sails off into the sunset in 2024.
I'd love to be on the train that says maybe not, but I'm almost certain he will. I think that 9 years for a manager is a lifetime at a club nowadays, and he will be tired. I would be. I mean, it's a long time building and building and building. It would have been
managers age very quickly in the Premier League, don't they?
That's fucking mad.
Yeah, that's how long we've been there.
And as Chris said, 9 years of intense scrutiny, pressure. Even, even in your summers when you're away with your family, you can never really not look at your phone. There's something, isn't there, Chris, that's always going to be there.
I always say, I'd almost say that Klopp may retire after he leaves Liverpool. Because how old will he be? I mean, nearly 60. I just can't
he's 55, isn't he?
Yeah,
no, not quite.
He might stay on and maybe do an international job, but I can't see him doing much after that.
I think the man shaft is what he wants, isn't it? The German job.
The manscaped. Use WFM20.
If you want to have your man shaft looking well, get on to Manscaped and use code WFM20 for 20% off.
And if you want to have your men shafted, just put Ollie in charge of the club. You'd be grand.
54 is Klappo.
Look at him. He's a beautiful man, isn't he?
Isn't he?
He really is.
Cheeky focus from the camera there. Fair play to him. There we go. Look at that. God, I'd kiss him. What?
I don't know where to go with this now after that. I won't lie, gents. That's taken me a little bit by surprise. I mean, this stream has taken a very strange turn there. So on the managerial merry-go-round then, I love the idea of Pep Linders perhaps stepping up, but I look around Europe and what I am like an ostrich burying my head in the sand with regards to Klopp leaving Liverpool. If I allow myself to even think about it for a minute, I'm not that concerned because I think there is enough great managerial talent around Europe, and I'm very impressed with what I see from the next generation of managers coming through as well. Obviously, Julian Nagelsmann, Jesse Marsch, the guy at Brentford, very good manager as well,
yes.
And many others around Europe as well. Ten Hag, obviously at Ajax, doing really well. So I'm not worried from that point, Paddy. I think that we will get a very, very good manager. But whoever it's going to be, it just won't be Klopp. That's the black and white of it, really. Like
it's going to be tough to take when he comes. But listen, that's life. There's no point in cribbing and crying about it. But I will say, and then this might be controversial, nothing will ever, no matter what happens, he's done a world-class job. But after 9 years, I think he need. I want to see more than just one Premier League and one Champions League. I think he needs to add one or the other to that. I think if 9 years goes by and he doesn't win anything this year or the next two after that, I think we could feel a bit like that was an opportunity missed. I feel like this team and it deserves more than just one Premier League and one Champions League. Listen, unbelievable. What a job. Don't get me wrong. But there will be something left feeling, wanting for and more. And I think a Premier League, maybe we'll take a Champions League this year, maybe another Premier League, one more of each, and I'm happy.
Don't forget the Carabao Cup, Paddy.
Yeah, we're winning that this year, Paddy. You're not on that train with us, mate. We're already on the way to Anfield South.
Yeah, I hope we do. I hope he just plays a full strength team and just goes and wins it. But as I said the last time, I just feel like he's too loyal to the guys that I think he'll just play that second string team, which is why we probably won't do anything. But
hopefully is in form, mate.
I seen Craig the same as me in the watch along for the West Ham. I was cursing Origi. Origi made him off the bench. I'm sick of this. It's absolute disgrace. And then Origi scores an absolute peach, by the way. And I was just going, interesting. I was hoping that
reverse psychology, Paddy. They should be thanking us, mate. Do you know what I mean?
We should be getting a few quid from the club, to be honest. But
now on that one though, where were we going on this one? What were we talking about there before? We were talking about
we'll get a good manager. And
I wanted to just pick up a point on what Paddy said about looking back on the 9 years, and that's my big fear as well, Chris. Is that we do look back on it, and we had this really brilliant condensed 12-month period where we won these 4 big trophies, and it will feel like an opportunity missed. As Paddy said, if we look back and Jurgen Klopp hasn't, and it would feel like an opportunity missed, but I guess I want to elaborate on that and say, whose fault would it be? Would it be because the team didn't achieve enough, or do we feel that maybe it will be because he wasn't backed up? Because he's not infallible. You know what? He's not.
No.
He does make mistakes. Mm-hmm. That's fair to say. He's not. None of us are. We shouldn't expect anybody to be. But in football, that's what we aim for.
What I'd say is, whatever happens, and I think it's the way you look at it, in everything that you can look for improvements and you can look for where things could have gone better, and nothing's ever going to be the ultimately perfect spell. Unfortunately, and I do think we have already missed a couple of opportunities. I think we should have won the Carabao Cup in 2016. We should have gone for it more in 2017 as well. There's other opportunities that we've had in cup competitions that we've missed. Premier League title 18-19, of course, 97 points. But whatever happens,
that still haunts me.
Whatever happens,
just even saying that we got 97 points to finish second just feels dirty.
God. But whatever
happens, City, man, why were they that haunts me? And do you know what? I was actually
fuck Vincent Kompany, fuck Kylie Iheanacho.
I was living in Belgium. I was in Belgium, good man. In Belgium, working in an Irish bar at that period. I think it was February. We drew back to West Ham, Leicester, and Everton. 3 draws in a row, I think it was, and that was it. That was the killer. God, that was. And then that Kelechi Iheanacho, Vincent Kompany. When has he ever done that before? When I seen that happen, I was like, that is just that's a script. We're living in a simulation.
Exactly.
Nobody's talking about getting rid of Klopp, Todd, by the way. The conversation actually started around Steven Gerrard's future and the Aston Villa job. But, mate, we're not reacting to it. Nobody here wants Klopp out. If anything, the exact opposite.
Disgusting. Klopp out.
Yeah, no.
It's gone.
But anyway, what I was saying was, I will never look back in a negative way at Jurgen Klopp's spell. I think, yes, if we'd have won, I wish we'd have won 40 trophies in this time. Sadly, things aren't possible. He's given me the best memories as I've had as a Liverpool fan, and probably everyone of my generation and the generation above it. And he's just a top bloke. And the way that we've done it as well, we're not oil money, we're not oil merchants. They're not tainted by oil. We are here, and we've done it in a somewhat cheap way.
I love the way we say "we." By the way, like all of us have played a part.
We have done it.
I do it all the time as well. We lost today. We lost. Did you? What did you do, fat man? I did nothing. Angry man shouting at the television, but still we lost. You know what I mean? We do. That's beautiful. That's the tribal aspect of it, though, isn't it? We do feel like it. We have a right. It's us. It's our movement. It's our collective. That's the beauty of it.
Someone wants you as manager, Craig. By the way.
Nobody wants me as manager, mate. You'll get the Any Given Sunday speech every week. That's all that'll happen. I'll be just coming in there and cherry picking lines and just, be full of pace merchants like me and Paddy. Not right, Paddy? The team would be just full of pace merchants.
Absolutely, 99 pace. I'm actually quick, good, decent acceleration. To be fair, don't get me wrong. Sprint speed is a bit lacking, but listen, we'll get there.
Stamina. It's all about the stamina, Paddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you've got the ball toner in play. The world's your oyster, my man.
Absolutely.
Right, now we've dealt with the managerial side of it. Let's tickle the nuts a little bit, gents, of the transfer window. Let's have a chat around a couple of links today. I mean, I spoke about this a little bit earlier on. Fabrizio Romano said that Liverpool really love Danjuma. And my question and my annoyance about this isn't whether Danjuma is good enough or not. He's clearly a very good player. But my annoyance, Chris, comes with, why did we let him go to Villarreal?
Yeah.
If we want him so much, for a club that are known for being financially responsible and for trying to save a few pound, why would we let him go to Villarreal and then pay maybe twice as much as they paid for the player 6 months later? It doesn't make sense to me.
What I think wasn't proven before with Arnaud Danjuma is whether he could do it in a good league. The Championship is not a good league. I'm sorry, it is, but it's not for a Liverpool player, in my humble opinion, unless your name's Ben Davis. But you saw what happened to him.
Club legend. Up there with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Same level.
But now I think Liverpool scouts like to see a player established for 2 seasons, playing an established role for an established club in a good league. And I think Danjuma's done that. Even if they have to pay a few more pounds, it gives you more of a guaranteed success rate. If we'd have gone and spent 15 million on Danjuma this summer, I think you'd have seen fans moaning, saying we've signed a player from the Championship. What are we doing?
Here's an idea. Buy him for 15 million and loan him for a season to Villarreal and let him see what he's worth. You're still going to save the money.
What if he flopped, Craig? What if
you still get our money back? You'd still get your 15 million investment back.
I don't know. I just think we want more established players. I don't know.
But we won't pay for them. That's the catch-22. Exactly. They want more proven players, but we have a manager who's having to come out and publicly state that we need 2.5 million for the Champions League group stage game.
Yeah, it is a weird one, isn't it?
So we can't then play the kids and win the Carabao Cup because we have to get 2.5 million quid from that game. But we could piss money up against the wall.
Yeah.
For a good player in Danjuma, my argument, I suppose, isn't at all around Danjuma. It's just about, look at Van Dijk. Van Dijk was spoken to, Brendan Rodgers was spoken to about Van Dijk when he was at Celtic. I believe, if my memory is right, I think it was Gary McAllister who recommended him to him. And we didn't pull the trigger. And he went to Southampton, I think, for 12 million, if my memory is correct. And look, we know we got a fantastic defender. And look, I get that one might have been a little bit trickier, but Paddy, my point is, surely that should be lesson learned.
Yeah, like that's so tilting. Like the club were obviously aware of Danjuma at Bournemouth. He was doing bits at Bournemouth, you know. Like it's not like he was, you know. Then you're letting him go to Villarreal, and then you're going to pay double, triple. Like just take more risks in the transfer window. Like I don't like Jesus Christ, like. You know, if you sign someone, he's a flop, so be it. Like, we've had enough good signings to justify a couple of flops here and there. It's all about experimentation. Like, imagine we signed Danjuma in the summer, and then, you know what I mean? For whatever he would have been. Just take the risk. Like, there seems to be too much risk assessment there. Like, it's not like the club will go bust if a £20 million signing fails, you know what I mean?
Fair. But again, I do like the caliber of player. I do like Danjuma as a player. And I will say, I will be the first one to admit, Chris, that like you, I looked at Bournemouth and I was told about him when he was at Bournemouth. And my own inbuilt bias towards the level of football said, big difference. Big difference between doing it for Bournemouth in the Championship and doing it for Liverpool. But I would also say it's a big step up doing it for Liverpool in the Premier League than doing it for Villarreal. I would say equally.
Yeah.
It's a big jump there.
He's been doing it in Europe as well, though. To be fair, which is I think is a very good indication.
Yeah, he was brilliant against United. He was brilliant.
I really like. I still would really like him. I'd pay 40 million for him now on the spot. I think he's quality. Whether it will happen, Villarreal aren't open to entertaining offers, so especially in January. So
What if we threw in Loris Karius? You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
I mean,
we're saving him for the Mbappe deal.
Just because they have the Spanish number one at the minute doesn't mean that Loris can't get in there and fight for his place.
Very true. Very true. He's world class. He's world class.
Adrian, mate.
Give him Adrian and Karius. I think is a fair deal. That's worth about 100 million.
bit generous.
Yeah, I mean, I could do what Karius does at the club, which is train. You know what I mean? I'll do it. I'll do the Instagram modeling if needs be.
Oh, man.
Another name from Sociedad actually that was linked to us was Marina. I don't
Marino,
know
is
too
it?
much
The one that was
about
at Newcastle.
Marino. No,
Yeah.
is it Marino?
Marino, I think he was at
I don't know
Newcastle,
too much about this guy. I have to say. I mean, I've seen
Nah.
that unlike Jude Bellingham, he does have a release clause, and the release clause is apparently about £51 million. And all I can tell you is that Sociedad look like a very good collective team. Arrazabal looks like a very good player, but I don't know much about this guy, Chris. I'm expecting you, with your background from the good folks at LFC transfer room, to have the goods here.
He's quality, mate. He's been the linchpin of the Real Sociedad, and how they've done under Imanol Alguacil. Unbelievable. I would love him at Liverpool, man. He controls the tempo. He's so good. He's got good engine. It's just he would fit so well. My only qualm, of course, is where he was at Newcastle. He didn't do very, very well there, but he was still well respected by the Geordie fans, and he's evolved a lot since then. 100%. If £50 million come out, if he's available, £50 million, go get Mikel Merino.
I think, it breaks my heart to say this, but I can see it as a far more likely option at the minute than Mr. Bellingham, Paddy. Because one, look again, looking at the cold light of day, Bellingham doesn't even have a buyout clause. So it's one thing Dortmund saying what they would look for him. It's another thing losing him and maybe Erling Haaland in the same window.
Yeah, I'd listen. As much as I'd love it, Jude Bellingham, I don't think it's going to happen. No, I don't think FSC are going to pay that money.
I'm going to have to put my Thomas the Tank Engine pajamas to bed.
No, but about Mikel Merino, like, don't get me wrong, I seen him at Newcastle. I'm not going to lie and say I've watched fucking Real Sociedad all year, but they're top of the Spanish league, and I don't see why they'd want him to leave. And it's not like they can just go out and buy someone. They have to be from the Basque region to play for Sociedad. So, like, it's a lot harder to.
They've loosened up on that a little bit in recent years.
Strict as Bilbao, I don't think, yeah.
But what I was like, we've got history with great midfielders coming in from Real Sociedad. That's all I'm going to say. Hello, Xavi Alonso.
Hopefully, he doesn't leave the same way.
Do you know, actually, Paddy, Xavi Alonso was an exchange student in Meath. Did you know that?
Yeah, he played a bit of hurling. He actually did know that.
Did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't got an All-Ireland to his name.
Yeah.
Playing that Regista role.
Yeah. Never know what could have been. What a man. He's managing their under 21s.
He definitely shifted a few birds from Meath. He definitely did when he was over here. They'd be lapping up Xavi Alonso.
Irish schools love a Spanish student. They hear Spanish students are coming over. I remember I was in first year and we heard there were Spanish students coming over, and we were all gassed. So yeah.
To be fair, though, he is like a fine wine. He has done so well with age.
I still love him. I'd still trust him in midfield right now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I loved him even more when I seen him with the Bavarian get up with the Oktoberfest, where he had the full rig out on. He looked, even at that, he still looked like a baller. Do you know what I mean? He looked absolutely class. Any other good transfer shouts that you guys have seen during the week?
Valverde today.
Oh, hello. Go on.
Yeah. It's not very likely, but apparently Jurgen Klopp is very, very, and he's an admirer of Fede Valverde.
So he's not in love with him like Danjuma then. It's just a little man crush.
Yeah. It's not quite us on Alonso, but it's sort of us on, like, I don't know, Peter Crouch or something. Like he's on the radar.
Hang on 1 second.
Peter Crouch.
Peter Crouch is a goddamn legend, sir.
He's aged well, Crouchy. He
should have started in 07.
But he's doing all right now. But yeah, but unfortunately, Valverde's got £1 billion release clause, so I don't think that will happen.
£1 billion?
£1 billion.
They do love £1 billion release clause over in Spain, don't they? They do love it.
Moving mad.
I'll just have a look at what else has been popping on LFCtransstream.com today. I'll do some writing for him.
Bringing lads through 15 years of age, scoring a goal and 7 asides. $1 billion for everybody. Everybody's trying $1 billion. And you know what? All this is because of what PSG did with Neymar. It's all because nobody thought that would be paid.
Yeah, that transfer truly ruined the transfer market. But
you know what? I think, if my memory is right, Paddy, I think that all stemmed from PSG feeling they were treated really badly at the Nou Camp in that miraculous comeback game. I think they felt their noses were rubbed in it just a little bit too much, and they said, watch, hold my beer, lads. Hold my fucking beer. That's a baller move, I won't lie. So that is a baller move. I don't like PSG, but I respected the shit out of that.
The state of Qatar said, "Hold my beer." Actually, no, they wouldn't have been drinking a beer because obviously they said, "Hold my fucking tea."
Apparently, Saul Niguez is going to be sent back to Atletico Madrid by Chelsea in January.
Yeah, I mean, is that one we got away with, gents? Is that one that we, because I was on board that train at one point. I was shouting for that as possible.
I'm still on that board. I'm still on board that train.
I
think he'd be excellent addition.
I don't think Madrid will deal with us now, though, after this season.
No. Hold my oil.
Yeah, there you go.
That's excellent. But yeah, he's. I don't know if we dodged a bullet. I just don't think he was ever right for Chelsea. He was one of those that signed him just so no one else can. I think.
I don't like the idea of a loan. I hate the idea of loaning a player because I don't see the payoff of it. If he does well, you end up buying him, which takes away from a future transfer fee to get a player that you're already used to having in your squad as a fan.
Yeah.
There's
plus, if he's good, you're just going to be paying like more than what you would have paid initially. So yeah, it's one of those. It's a weird one.
Yeah, he's decent. Obviously, he's a fantastic player, always available. But clearly, Diego Simeone wanted to clear a space in his squad for Griezmann, and he did so. And I don't think he'd want him back.
Yeah, I mean, I think that between that and Rodrigo de Paul going into Atleti, I think that was the final nail in his coffin at the club there. Other transfer links that I've seen doing the rounds, gents, I mean, nothing that I would really say is substantial, but, let's talk about what we need, I suppose, first and foremost, because it's easy, midfielder, attacker, it's easy to just say that, but is there a conversation at right back to be had? Because I'll tell you why I say this. I'm loving the situation at left back right now. I'm loving that even if Robbo's dropped a bit, we know we've got Kostas Tsimikas in there, who's up to speed, who's fully down with the system, who's doing bits when he plays. And that, to me, will only raise the standard. So I asked the same question because I didn't think anybody could challenge Robbo. Just as I don't think anybody can challenge Trent, but I've been wrong. Kostas has come in and done a job. And again, I'll hold my hands up and say, I remember having an argument about whether Trent could come in and replace Kleiny at the time. At right back, it doesn't have to be a 40, 50 million quid player like the club have proven, Chris, with Kostas Tsimikas. We can do good business and improve the squad.
The only thing is, though, the amount of money that it would take to sign a player capable of it. I don't know. I think Kostas Tsimikas was an unbelievable find. But I don't know how many is out there that are actually better than Nico Williams. I think Nico Williams has still got a future. I don't think he'll push Trent.
I suppose the only reason I speak about Nico is I guess I maybe have it in the back of my mind that he might want to move away because of the summer. I'm not trying to downplay Nico's ability because he's certainly taken strides forward.
If Nico goes, I 100% agree. We have to get a cover in at right back. However, I don't think it's as alarming a situation as, say, getting cover in midfield or getting cover up front, especially up front. But surely I think there will be a conversation to be had either in the summer or the summer after that.
I wonder, again, will the summer be a case of a lot of wages being cleared off the books? The one that immediately springs to my mind is what happens with James Milner, because we all love James Milner, Klopp loves James Milner, and whatever happens with James Milner, we'll all go, okay, no problem. If he renews, happy days. If he moves on, we wish him the best. There'll be no bad blood. But if he does move on, it's not an insignificant amount of wages freed up each week. It's about 140 grand, I think, something along those lines. So we do have to take this into account when we're talking about our transfer budget, because the one phrase we keep hearing about is how high our wage bill is. So if we were to bring somebody else in, we either have to move some wages off the books or bring in more income from somewhere.
Yeah, look, I think James Milner is still very underrated, but as fit as he is, he can't defy physics or whatever. I just feel like he's destined for a season or two back at Leeds. I think it would depend a lot on what happens with Leeds, if they stay up or not. But I feel like deep down he wants to probably end his career at Leeds, so I think it all depends. I love him though, and he's a good man.
Look, again, James Milner is brilliant. He's been pound for pound maybe the best value free transfer we've ever brought in. I'd argue Gary McAllister had a massive impact as well in what he did to bring along Stevie G and stuff. But, James Milner has been Exactly what we needed, Chris, at a time when we needed it. An experienced head, a winner, somebody to come in and put belief into that dressing room that we can finally go and get that Premier League title, and we've done it. And he was a big part of it.
I'm going to confess, after his season at left back, I wasn't on the Milner train. I couldn't stand him. I thought he slowed the play down. I thought he was what everyone thought Henderson was: passed the ball sideways, took 3 years on the ball. But I think he's genuinely improved since his early days at Liverpool. The way that he's evolved himself into this versatile midfielder / fullback, he has been so crucial. I'd argue as crucial as almost anyone in us winning the league and the Champions League, especially developing from a middling team to that. Whatever happens, as you said, Craig, it won't matter because he has done the club so much in the nearly 7 years he's been there.
Yeah, I think every Liverpool fan, to a man, woman, and child, will understand whatever James Milner decides and will wish him the best, because he is just a proper footballing legend and an example to any youngster out there how to have a career as long as his. Live the life, stay in shape. He's teetotal. There's so much to admire about him. And he took over social media and just killed that as well. Do you know what I mean? He just nailed that. Just when we thought he was boring, he came on social media and showed us, no, he's absolutely hilarious as well. Anything on Mohamed Salah, gents? And any little bits and pieces we've seen? Because it's gone very, very quiet, and I'm getting more worried, I won't lie. As this January window approaches, as not so much the window, it's more I'm worried about him being away from Liverpool with the AFCON, and I'm worried about people getting in his ear.
Yeah, I haven't seen much about it, which, as you said, is worrying. But listen, I mean, I've said it time and time again. If FSG want to be hounded out of the club, they won't offer him a contract. He needs to be offered a contract. It will be absolutely the biggest mistake of their tenure if they don't give him a contract. I don't care what he wants. I don't care if it breaks the rate structure. I've said it time and time again. Take the money that you'd be paying him for the contract. Try and find someone who'll replicate his output. You won't find someone for the price that will even do half that. You know what I mean? So I don't see any world where it doesn't happen, and I pray to God it does, because he's the main man of this team. Him and Virgil.
I think it depends a lot on what Craig said in the summer. He said about wages clearing. Mo Salah will have obviously a wage increase, a significant wage increase, because he deserves it. And maybe the club are waiting until then, and maybe they've promised him that. Who knows? But I'm quite encouraged by the fact that it's gone a bit quiet. No transfer rumors happening with him. I think it'll be quietly done behind the scenes while it's not the biggest thing in demand, and I think that's probably a good thing.
Let's be quite frank here. How many of us are expecting it to be the January news? You know, Mohamed Salah contract renewal, happy January. Don't expect anything else. And look,
I mean, while I'd be happy,
I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah, I'll take it. But that's probably what's signing up to be.
Give it to me now.
Yeah. It'll be on deadline day.
It'll be right up there with Verd standing beside the Christmas tree holding up the Liverpool shirt, wouldn't it? It'd be right up there for moments
it'll be on deadline day where we've done absolutely nothing. We've been linked with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and then boom, Hammers have a new deal, and we'll actually be like, yeah, fair enough. Go on, go ahead.
Boom. Adrian San Miguel, 4-year contract.
Oh, Jesus.
Who would argue?
The only club in his career to offer him a new deal. Brilliant.
What a player.
Number 13.
Do we think we'll have any business in January? Because I'm every single night on streams, like myself, there's a lot of people who love transfers, and I love a transfer story. But people are asking me, do you think this player's going to come in January? I don't think we're going to do that in January. And it's not because I don't think we need to. I certainly believe we do. I guess I just don't think anybody that we're realistically going to be looking at. And look, let's run through some names. Bowen, West Ham certainly aren't going to let him leave in January, not with the way they're playing and what they're fighting for. Yuri Tielemans at Leicester. Again, Leicester will have aspirations for European places this season, and Rodgers won't want to lose a player that important to them midway through the campaign when they're potentially still in Europe as well. So, I don't know, gents, where does this player come from?
I think he comes from somewhere in Europe. To be honest, I think we will do. I definitely think we'll do business. I know that sounds crazy for a Liverpool fan to say that because that never happens. We are next summer FC, but I genuinely think we'll do like a Minamino type signing to cover us for those 8 games because we have no cover apart. We've got Firmino's injured for that period probably. You've got Jota, Origi, Minamino, and then you're delving into like Cade Gordon, who is 16. Like we have to. There is no question. It's like last year with the centre back situation. We have to sign a forward. There is no question of it. Whether it's I just seen that.
If we do that in January, if we go out there and do a Minamino type signing. Are we not just admitting as a club then we've got fuck all ambition?
Yeah.
Because we knew this was coming. We knew that this period, even without injuries, that we were going to be without Mo, Sadio, Naby, and, you know, Bobby has a hamstring injury at the minute. So I just, maybe I'm wishing us not to do something in January because I'm afraid of a signing where we all go, nah, and that can't be it. Like, I mean,
yeah,
I'm almost convinced we will. I don't know where, who, or what, but it will happen because we can't not. Otherwise, we're putting pressure on kids, and that can't happen, bro.
Now let's have a conversation around Divock Origi, and I have to say, surely it's fair to say that he's doing himself no harm at the minute. And I would be somebody who would put my hands up and say, look, I would happily move Origi on. I still would. But it would also be foolish of me to say that I haven't seen improvements in him this season when he's been given opportunities. Whereas last season, Paddy, I looked at him, I thought I seen a man who was not interested. He just didn't want to be there. But, you know, that goal against West Ham, low-key, that was brilliant. Yeah. That was top-notch centre-forward play. You know, and I heard let's not forget Pep Linders recently said he's a world-class finisher. His words.
Listen, I think we've always ourselves known he has that in his locker. We just haven't seen the locker too often. You know, we love Divock. Like, I think we love him a lot, like, for what he's done for the club. You know what I mean? But I'm sick persisting with him. I just want to add more blood in him. We need something fresh, like, you know what I mean?
Divock Origi with a crowd is fresh. I'm saying this now. He needs a crowd to play football in. I think he feeds off it. Put me
a fucking tutu and give me pom-poms. I'll do a Divock Origi dance.
Absolutely.
Better.
Craig, can we see you with pom-poms, please?
Full-on Crystal Palace behaviour. Do they still have the cheerleaders at half-time or before the games?
Anymore. I
think it's probably not politically correct anymore.
It's not really 2021 vibes, is it?
Fuck's sake.
But yeah, honestly.
But yeah, boxing still sound. You know what I mean? Yeah. UFC, absolutely not a bother out of it. These are the type of hypocrisies that annoy me. But look, anyway, getting back to Divock, I have to say, Chris, I don't think he's the solution to our attacking problem, but I think he's pushing for a starting berth ahead of Jota in the next game through the centre.
I've
said it. That. You know what I'm going to say it. Through the centre against Arsenal, I think Divock Origi, I wouldn't mind it. It's different.
I see what you're saying. You play players on form, don't you?
You can't plan for the Divock Origi whirlwind that might happen. You know, if you're Mikel Arteta, you're studying. You can't plan for Divock. Divock does what he wants
because he doesn't know what he's doing either. That's the thing. And how can they know what he's going to do? But you can't. You can't start Divock Origi in a game of that magnitude. I personally think Jota's gone
of that magnitude. It's fucking Arsenal.
Arsenal are 2 points behind us. It's still a big
I know that. I'm refusing to acknowledge that, Chris. If they move above us, you will never see a league table again. Underneath us now on the screen, that will never be there again. Sorry, I don't want to exist in a world where Arsenal are ahead of us in the league table.
Look, right. Divock is great in like very small doses. I'm still not on the train. He shouldn't start a football match. He's great to bring off the bench, though, to have a player of who can put a ball away. Yeah. And if he continues doing so, then why the hell not? But
let me ask you one thing, Chris.
Jota.
Let me ask you one thing.
Go on.
Mane's miss against West Ham, end of the game. Origi buries that. That's all I'm saying.
But I think Sadio Mane buries that 7 times out of 10. So I don't know.
That was a bad miss.
Yeah,
I don't know why he went ahead it first and foremost to just side foot it down into the ground. But we're all geniuses in hindsight. But I do think he's a good finisher. I do think that's one attribute I would say of Divock Origi that is almost unquestionable is his ability to finish, because he is a good finisher. Just getting him into those positions, I suppose, is the big question. And when I said maybe start him ahead of Jota, there's some people in the comment section that are saying maybe start him, but it would be Mane that they would look to start him ahead of. I mean, for me, I think so. I've seen glimpses of Sadio getting back to his best. I'm quite happy with how Sadio was playing personally.
Yeah,
I don't know how you guys feel about it.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think he's been a lot better this year, 100%. I think last year he suffered a little bit. I think it was maybe a hangover from the COVID and maybe just a lack of fans. But I think
are you trying to spread some Minamino propaganda?
I'm not. But I've got the Premier League goal scorer stats. Sadio Mane's third.
Yeah.
What? I don't understand.
Quality.
You're not allowed to bring facts into a football debate. You should know that by now, Chris. Facts go out the window. We're all hypocrites, and I mean that in a kind way. Look, I guess I'm just wondering, maybe with Bobby Firmino out, maybe if you play Divock Origi and you got a bit of confidence ahead of going into the festive period, and he knows that the manager appreciated the good work that he did in the last game and took a chance on him. I guess maybe I'm looking at it from a squad morale point of view as well, ahead of the fact we'll be losing the lads in January. I'm not saying that anyone deserves to be dropped. I just think, if we really believe in the squad, he's certainly, for me, somebody who looks like he would have more impact than Minamino at the minute. That's where I am.
Yeah, for sure.
He's more of a different option, isn't he? And he's big, he's strong. I don't think he's very good in the air, by the way, but he is big. And he seems to have the strength, and he is a world-class finisher. So I'm on the Origi for 20 minutes at the end of a game train, but certainly not him starting.
On the game against Arsenal, then. I mean, let's pretend we have to look forward to a game. Let's pretend we're not in an international break where Ireland are going to get how do I say this in a way that I don't get cancelled? Played around with by Portugal on Thursday. Where Paddy the blow-in. Paddy, why don't you go to every Ireland home and away game, Paddy? I mean, what type of fan are you?
It's disgraceful from me, isn't it? Very
How
disgraceful.
dare you not be over in Tbilisi, mate, on those cold winter nights?
It's because I'm spending too much money on, food and water and stuff. How dare I?
And actually,
I mean, people probably won't know what we're on about here, but Paddy just put a rather innocent post up on Twitter, say, got a ticket to the Portugal game Thursday, happy days, and that's it, Paddy. You're not allowed to be happy on Twitter, mate.
No, not at all. How dare I? It's disgusting of me. It's Twitter. Twitter is a crazy place, and you just see some mad stuff. It's embarrassing, really.
I say, I like biscuits, but then they say, so you don't like cake then? Oh, fuck off.
Here we go. Pulisic's personal doctor said Origi's Liverpool's version of Ollie at United, a super sub who one day will help to rebuild a club as manager. Origi's at the wheel in 2038.
Can you imagine Origi as a manager? It would be the worst team ever.
Only if Paulo Torre is his assistant. That's all. I'm having it then. Do you know what I mean?
He's still a Leicester, isn't he, or Rodgers, isn't he?
Yeah, Roger still called him Cowlo to this day for some unknown reason. He always calls him Cowlo. I don't know why. I do love that. I mean, nothing made me happier than seeing Gerrard and all the boys in Dubai going Colo.
That was funny. That was after a horrible season as well, wasn't it?
It was a horrendous season, but I loved seeing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, so on the Arsenal game, gents, I mean, moving into this game, we're probably going to have some more options back in midfield. Curtis Jones available. Is there any argument to not play Thiago, Henderson, and Fabinho? Or is Thiago not delivering? That's another conversation.
Thiago's got to start. He hasn't really had a chance to deliver, surely. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But why hasn't he had a chance?
Because he's been injured.
Exactly. Which leads me to my next point. How are we supposed to have a consistency and an understanding if we can't get 10 or 15 games in a row out of a midfield or a defence or...
I don't think Oxlade-Chamberlain's done himself any harm. I know I'm on this. I know I blow his.
You're on your own. You're on your own on this one, mate.
I don't think he's done himself any harm. I don't think he was bad the other day. A lot of people giving him stick.
Not as bad as people made out. Absolutely not. I agree. First half, very good defensively, I thought.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think he's done himself. I thought Henderson has done more harm to himself than Oxlade-Chamberlain has.
Henderson has been
unbelievable.
Anyway, yeah.
Like, I'd honestly, I'd argue Thiago, Fabinho. For me, if it was me picking the midfield, but I don't think it is. It'll be Henderson. Of course it will. But look, I'm happy Thiago's back. I don't understand the stick he's been getting, but we move.
Nothing. No shouts for Curtis Jones. I like the idea of Curtis Jones against Arsenal. I have to say that because they're going to have a lot of youthful exuberance for their team with Emile Smith-Rowe, Saka, some good, energetic young players there. Odegaard as well. I think we match that with a bit of scout steel with Curtis Jones. Even if we have to lash an eye patch on him and just let him play with his one good eye.
Yeah. Like, I love Henderson, but I don't think Henderson's really covered himself in glory this year. But I think Thiago is a must. For me, Thiago is a no-brainer. He has to start.
I'm just trying to word this. How do we get the best out of Thiago, Chris? How do we set up the team to get the best? No, let's say he's available, he's fit. How do we, as a collective group, with Fabinho in a holding midfield role, and let's just say he goes with Henderson alongside him, how do we get Thiago involved in the game and make him have an impact?
I think Thiago's always involved in the game. You saw when he came on again. He might have misplaced a few passes and wasn't actually at his greatest, but he is always involved. And when Thiago ticks, he makes you make noises that you didn't know you could make.
That Chelsea appearance sold his dreams at the start, didn't it?
He gets the team pouring like a lawnmower 4.0. Dare I say it, Chris?
Also, like last 10 games of last season, Thiago was ticking. Liverpool won 9 of those 10 games.
Yeah,
he is crucial when he's on there. He makes us play slightly differently, I think, because we are so reliant on him to distribute the ball. But look, I don't know how we get him ticking, but if he gets ticking, it's insane. Like no one will stop us if Thiago is playing well, in my opinion.
I just wonder, in the system, the way we play it with Jurgen Klopp, how to get Thiago on the front foot if we bypass midfield a lot of the time, which I think we'll all agree we do. With the caliber of centre backs that we have and the range of passing at their disposal, and the fullbacks are the very same. I find that the games we tend to struggle in the most are the ones where we're forced to go through midfield. I think we've lost too many midfield battles this season. The only one I can think of we won was United, but me, Paddy, and Chris would have rolled over that United midfield that day. So
that's not even a joke. Genuinely not a joke. They were so bad.
2 pace merchants and a gay icon. I mean, what's not to love?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, in case you didn't know, Chris is now self-professed gay icon.
I do not claim it, but I will say that going out in a gay club is the best night you'll ever have.
I will second that. Absolutely, tons of fun. And anytime I've been in a gay club, it's been amazing. Yeah, great fun. But
insane.
He got the part where he said he didn't have to. He said he didn't have to buy a drink all night, Paddy. That's the part that he's leaving out.
No wonder you like this so much.
Yeah, I can't remember anything from Saturday morning, mate. That's what I'll say. Could have been in any bed. That's all I'll say.
Oh, hello. There you go. Nothing wrong with it. On the midfield battle, gents. I mean, Arsenal strike any fear into you, Paddy? I think fair to say they've improved, and I want to give Mikel Arteta some credit here because he certainly has got them going in the right direction, and we all laughed at him when he spoke about, well, I say we all, I mean definitely me, laughed at him when he spoke about that Norwich game being the biggest result of his career. And I thought that's a big statement to make, but in fairness to him, it's led to more points, and Arsenal are now right up there, right behind us, ahead of United in the league table. High 5-0.
High five. Now, with regards to Arsenal striking fear, maybe 2 weeks ago, absolutely.
The only fear they strike, Paddy's into the season ticket holders.
Yeah, there you go. No, listen, I don't know. Like, it's certainly, I'm not as confident as I was about 2 weeks ago. They're on really good form, and like, I know it's not just the loss to West Ham; it's the draw to Brighton. There's no gimme here. There's no gimme. We go out and smash Arsenal. You know, there's a little doubt in my head, but we should beat them. But I'm not 100% as I should be. They're on a good run, and Arteta's been decent, and Smith Rowe is on good form. But if, as you said, if we lose to Arsenal and they go ahead of us in the table, I'm clocking out for the season. I'm just going to look at the Champions League fixtures.
Yeah. I don't want to exist in that world. I don't want to be on social media or making videos if we lose to Arsenal at Anfield.
We'll
Chris.
never hear the end of that.
Chris will become the face of Anfield agenda if that's the case.
Chris is happy with that.
Oh mate, yeah, happy days. Come on, no. I don't think we will. We seem to love playing Arsenal at Anfield under Klopp. I seem to believe that when we're January 17, the worst patch under Klopp, in my opinion, apart from obviously January 21, Arsenal were the team that got us back into form. And they were top of the league at that time, and they're not as good then. They're not as good now as they were then. Yes, they're in good form. I think if you shut down Smith Rowe, you shut down Arsenal, and yeah, we will hammer them, especially after West Ham and the way that we played there. I think Jurgen will get right into him. We always seem to come back from an international break nowadays with good vibes, good energy, and let's do that again because if we can do like what we did against Watford, insane. I also think Mo Salah's getting a hattie. By the way, I'm just saying it. Going to happen. Triple captain.
It's at Anfield, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone said it's at the Emirates. No, it's definitely at Anfield. On that one, I think we will do to Arsenal what West Ham did to us to some extent. I think Arsenal are too soft. And I think that even though I think at times, Paddy, we can be too soft, we certainly, I think, roll over Arsenal.
I mean, yeah, I'm just being overly cautious, but yeah, sure. Listen, if we have any aspirations to win the Premier League title, we should be swatting Arsenal to the side like a daddy long legs that comes into your room at 4 a.m. in the morning. You know what I mean? We shouldn't struggle against Arsenal. Hopefully, there's no gimmies, but hopefully, surely, and we have the ability to. And if we don't,
I just realised I'm going to Anfield that day, so we might have to change our tune.
That's that then. It's nice. It was nice.
No.
Sorry, boys.
How did you only realise that?
I just checked my calendar because I knew I was going to Arsenal or Southampton. I realised, I'm going to Arsenal.
Chris with the hookups, huh? We need to get over there.
I still can't get over that Arsenal fan who went on a particular fan channel and said that Rob Holding was better than Van Dijk or Gomez or whomever he said that he was better than. It was equal layers of stupidity.
The only thing,
so for that, I'll never ever forgive them. And
the only thing Rob Holding's better at than those guys is losing hair. No offense, Craig.
Oh,
so
I have a full head of hair. I'll have you know, sir.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is or how I can get it back. But,
look, he's. I don't understand.
Bald icon. It suits you, trust me. You with hair wouldn't.
Someone called me a bald eagle earlier on. I was having that. I was all over that. I was thinking, yes,
mate, you should get your wife to call you that.
Would make a change from some of the things that she's been calling me lately, Chris. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, you're going to the game, are you?
I am. Yeah.
Again, accepting full responsibility for the result.
We are done. We're drawing the game. By the way.
God!
Most of
it's
not
going to age like milk.
Yeah, it's not going to be
Chris, I mean, any hope I had now going into this game, I won't lie, it's been dwarfed a little bit here, mate, with the knowledge that you're going to. What's going to take for you not
to
be
not that short?
I don't know.
What's it going to take, Chris?
I'm going to have to do something different than I have done the last couple of times. Like, hopefully there won't be an accident on the M5. But yeah, that'd be nice.
Here's a good question, Jordan. To finish up, we'll go with this one. Thank you, Jordan, for the super chat. Said, do you think the top four now will be the top four at the end of the season? And I won't hold you to exact places, gents. Let's just talk about the four teams.
For me, yes, same four teams, different placement. I really, really, really fancy West Ham, and basically after beating us, I kind of hope they do it now. To be honest, I hope they did last year if it wasn't at the expense of Liverpool. But yeah, I think so, and it'd be great to see United in the Europa League again with Ronaldo.
I'd love to see West Ham do it as well. And it kind of adds to my point that was made during the Super League time about, boxing off the idea of European competitions for clubs who are established and have history doesn't do justice to the Leicesters, to the West Hams, who are establishing themselves. And what the top four looks like now and the top four in 5 years' time, the beauty of the Premier League is that it could could be changed, and there could be another Newcastle, there could be another West Ham, and again, Chris, West Ham have done it in the right way. You've got nothing but admiration and respect for the way they've gone about it.
Yeah,
absolutely. They've been brilliant. But my concern with West Ham is depth. I don't think they have any depth whatsoever. If we see an injury to Bowen, to Fornals, to Antonio, I think it ruins them. To be honest, especially Declan Rice. I mean, people haven't spoken about how unbelievable he's been this season. I hate to say it again on a stream of two Irish lads, but he is just unreal. I'd happily take him at Liverpool, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't get into that Irish team, neither would Grealish.
Where we don't need you. We're doing great.
But yeah,
it's funny though, because if he wasn't good now, he would be playing for Ireland. That's just the way it is. But you know what I mean? He is pretty good though. That's still not worth 100 million in my eyes. But listen,
so what are we saying, Chris? Do you think that top four?
I think Spurs will get top four over West Ham.
All right, relax now. Relax, Chris.
I do. I genuinely think Antonio Conte, with a January window, will get them in the top four.
It depends how close they are by that stage, but I don't disagree.
They're not that far away now, to be honest, are they?
Yeah.
Which club do you think
would be that's a good question.
It's a very good question. Which club do you think would be the next one to win a Premier League title, the second Premier League title? Liverpool, Leicester, or, well, it won't be Blackburn, I think.
It's going to be a 20th title. That's what I like to look at it. But if you're being specific, Liverpool.
Has to be, surely. Yeah.
I hope it is. I
don't know if it'll be this season. We'll take the Champions League this year, and we'll come back.
Put it this way: if it's not Liverpool, I'd be very happy for it to be Leicester. You know, if as long as it's not Manchester City winning the league on sound.
I mean, Blackburn will be doing well to come up
United,
and get promoted and then win it. Blackburn will be doing very well to get that ahead of Liverpool or Leicester. But you know, yeah. Listen, if it's not Liverpool, I'll happily take a Leicester. Why not?
I think I'd love the league table to finish with these four clubs in the top four spaces. I'd have a different order. Actually, my prediction at the start of the season was Chelsea first, Liverpool second, City third. I think I had United fourth, if I'm being entirely honest. But I would love to see West Ham get over the line, Chris, and get themselves some Champions League football.
Absolutely. And it'd be amazing for my hometown, Hereford, from Jarrod Bowen. He's from there. He's my boy. And to have a Herefordian playing in the Champions League. Amazing.
A Herefordian? I've never heard that phrase before.
Is that actually the name of it?
Yeah. Herefordian, mate.
Herefordian.
But yeah. And not only that, I mean, they just play good football. West Ham just play. I enjoy watching West Ham play.
Set piece merchants. Those set pieces still haunting me. Jesus Christ. that wasn't it Bowen with the assist for the third goal?
Yeah, Bowen
that
with
was a serious whip.
The two assists he got.
Yeah, that was a whip and a half. Jesus Christ.
Another
you gotta respect it.
Of Jarrod Bowen, mate, can take corners.
Herefordian, that is mad.
Yeah, but can he stick a top bins like Trent on a free kick? We didn't even talk about that. It wasn't a free kick technically. And did my FPL love the Salah assist? Yeah, it did.
Yeah, mine did too.
But yeah, for the Trent free kick, I said to my dad, because we were watching it in the pub together, I was like, look, this is going over the bar. He's had so many. I can't be asked with Trent on free kicks anymore. Stick anyone else on it. And then he goes and puts the top in and is like, oh well.
Why haven't they battered with Van Dijk? Banged them in for Celtic. Why have they not trialed that?
Lads, I had a mare in that game. I won't lie to you. For the free kick, I said, don't fucking shift it. Don't move a yard. Yeah. Don't try and change the angle. Just put your foot through it. Because the amount of free kicks we've made a hames of. And when Origi came on, I said, that's it now. Sure, we've given up. And he scored and Trent stuck a top in. So what do I know? Nothing, clearly.
Tactile jinx, Craig. We love it.
It was an unbelievable finish, though, wasn't it? I mean, Fabianski could just look at it.
And on the swivel as well. On the swivel. What a boy. It was instinctive.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. It was
I actually
delicious.
think the little ball roll actually helped it with its movement and the speed. So what do we know is right? Because I said the same stuff. Don't put it short.
They did a very sly, though. I will say that. They moved the ball very quickly. Salah stopped it lovely and Trent. It was just perfect. It was footballing pornography again, as I like to say. It was wonderful. I had everything. Keeper planted to his feet. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, more of that, please, Trent, as the season goes on. Yeah, look, gents, I think we'll call that one a day. And I really appreciate Paddy and Chris coming on. Chris, bar jinxing us at Anfield, what have you got coming up, mate?
I don't know, to be honest. From one day to the next, anything will be happening. You can check out all my articles on lfctransferroom.com. That's part of my one of my new ventures. Is writing for them. So constant, about 5 or 6 articles a day. They're always banging up there. So yeah, and I don't know. I'll probably do a match day vlog for Arsenal. If I'm not on before, which I probably will be.
I'm sure you will be. I'm sure you'll be on beforehand. And Mr. Murphy, what have we got coming up? I know you're going to the game on Thursday. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I got sorted for tickets, thank God. So I'll be going to the Ireland-Portugal game. Maybe do a cheeky vlog for that. Can't wait. And if I see any Irish people with United jerseys, I will be calling the police.
Whoop whoop! That's the sound of the police. Whoop whoop!
That's the sound.
And rightly so.
Yeah,
absolutely proper order.
Absolutely,
and obviously the Irish, I was going to say the Reds, the Irish lads got to absolutely destroy Portugal like we did over in Portugal, and we were robbed.
Yeah, we were robbed.
We will be wearing that orange kit. It's gorgeous. That is.
What? You think that's
the new
nice?
orange kit? Oh, it's horrible.
No,
it's horrible.
Wrong. It's
you hate it. I love it.
I like the blue one.
No.
I like the blue one, the centenary kit.
Nice.
But
have you seen that centenary Portugal kit? That is banging. They're not wearing it though, but it's like a nice black old school Portugal jersey with the old school crest. Probably you say.
Yeah, I do like anything old school like that. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say my goodbyes. Don't forget, check out manscaped.com. WFM20 gets 20% off and free shipping. With the festive season coming up, make sure you get your orders in early. Thank you so much to Chris Stonich from LFC Transfer Room. Thank you to Mr. Paddy Murphy from everywhere, because he's Paddy's everywhere. He's doing bits. And thank you to you guys for tuning in as well. We will talk to you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take it easy, guys.